What up, folks? I'm ultrazillatoys. I have a review of the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Godzilla 2014, or just Godzilla Muto. It's not Godzilla at all. It is Muto with a bug on here. It looks like a bug. I mean, it's a helicopter, but it's a bug. I tricked my son into thinking that was a bug, and with good reason, because it looks like a bug just on the box. Look at that. Are you kidding? Weird. Anywho, nothing really going on the back to speak of. Yeah, I'm a little late on this review. This came out last year now, even here in the US. And this is a reissue of Muto, or a restock. I don't officially know. I think it's a reissue. I could be wrong. Like, I don't know if they had to go back to production on it, or it just took forever for BBTS to get more of these. But either way, I do have it now. I had it basically in my possession when it initially came out at BBTS back in like the first week of October. But I had to cancel it. Like, I had to cancel a lot of things, and it literally was in my warehouse. But yeah, money was super tight, and I had to pay a lot of bills. I'm like, I gotta get rid of this. I'm so sorry, and I couldn't do anything about it. I didn't do an unboxing. I was gonna do a BBTS unboxing. There was only a couple things in it. You will see both items very soon, or you could just go to my Instagram right now and check out what the other item is. But I actually did play around with this, and shout out to Zekoji back in November at the Kaiju Brooklyn Godzilla birthday party. He had gotten one of them, and I was playing around with it. I was like, it's okay. It's just okay. I'm not crying that I missed it now. But I am glad to finally have it. I am glad that BBTS got it again. I am glad to finally review it. So without any further ado, let's get to that review. And here is our Muto, and it's the female Muto, by the way. Out of the package, and it's interesting reviewing this that came out last year, after reviewing their Shimo, which I thought was pretty excellent, a real step up for Hiya, and definitely their best figure. And this is not going to top it, because this one, kind of like the Skullcrawler, just doesn't feel that great. And it's definitely, you know, like I've mentioned this before, but a lot, and not Shimo again. Most of their figures, to me, and especially when they've done the kaiju outside of Godzilla, have felt like old NECA figures in terms of the plastic quality and just how the joints feel. Like, I really feel like at any moment I could snap any of these joints. I did heat it up a little bit, but because there's a lot of stiff joints here, it's a little bit better now. But these upper joints, ooh. You know, they are very stiff. And some of them are not stiff at all. Like, these little ones are very loose, which is, like, scary onto itself. So, yeah, it is that feeling again. But I will say, you know, we are going backwards a little bit. So, again, I take, and I hope, you know, the releases that are to come from them feel more like the Shimo and less like this. I talked about the joints. Let's do the articulation before we get into the look. The mouth opens. You got this whole thing here that opens and closes. I kind of do like how that looks. We'll talk about that more a little bit, but it's very soft. And then you have this upper joint up here, which kind of goes outwards a bit, which is kind of nice. Goes back. This one here. This one here. You got this here that's, oh my lord. Yeah, this one's totally like, I'm not getting much going on here. I need more heat. Oh. And it swivels. That's scary. That's a scary joint. Let's see if the other side, does anybody know? That's like a spot where it's like, I don't know, you know, what anybody's experiences with these, but You know, let me know if you've seen people get these broken, and if yours have broken, because I can see it. This one, oof, very bad. Stiff, stiff, stiff. I'm gonna heat it up even more right after I do this. Though I got all the joints, and I think I did, but yet, yeah. You got this over here that moves. There's a lot of articulation, I'll say that. It's just, it doesn't, when it feels like this, it's like all this articulation feels like, oh my god, it's even more spots that can break. But, you know, there's a lot. There's a lot. These arms move here. Yeah, little loosey-goosey there. And then I believe there's a joint right in the middle here. Yeah, so a lot of articulation. Just very, very scary tight on a lot of it. So anyway, let's look at this figure. And we'll start with the head sculpt, which looks pretty decent, I have to say. The eyes look, you know, good enough. Got the little tongue in there. Does the tongue move? I can't even get my finger in there. I think it does. I mean, it's moving, but I don't know if it's just because it's soft. But the mouth looks pretty good overall. The front part here, so you can see little teethies, look pretty good. Yeah, I like the head sculpt. It's very nice. You have a nice little wash on everything. It's like kind of like an eggshell looking wash, kind of beigeish over like the dark gray. It's a good look. It's a good look. It works. Sculpt work in here looks good. But again, this is very, very soft. It's like rubber, this whole piece, which kind of interesting. I don't mind it, you know. It's pretty good. Then the sculpt work throughout is pretty good. It gives it, you know, Muto like almost like a hairy look to it, which I'm not sure is right, but like I like it. Or like a woody look. I don't know. It's interesting. And again, you can see the paint, which is cool. I do like the little arms here. They look pretty good. Yes, yes. In here it looks pretty good. These kind of like ribs. The belly. Very nicely painted on the belly. All the way back to the butt. The back here. Looking pretty good. The thicker legs in the back. Nicely sculpted. Nicely painted. No doubt about it. Sculpt and paint is looking pretty good. I mean, it's kind of an easy thing here. But, you know, it's painted. It's fine. I mean, not like easy, but I'm saying like, you know, they didn't do anything crazy with the paint. They just kind of went over everything with that wash, and it does look good. And sometimes that's all you need. You know, especially on a figure that's already, like character that's already dark, kaiju, titan. But pretty good. Not bad. Not bad, not bad, guys. I mean, a joint thing notwithstanding, the look of the figure, I have to say, is pretty good. Proportion's pretty good. I'm wondering if it's a little bit small. Kind of like Shimo. I'm feeling this might be a little bit small. But let's get to size comparisons and find out for sure. And for your size comparison, here it is with the Hiya Godzilla 2014 that we recently reviewed. And, you know, just watching the movie clips again, there's that initial scene when they're charging each other that, you know, the female Muto looks like this big. And I don't know if that's just like her extending all her arms out, like, and making herself bigger. But then for the rest, I feel like this is kind of right. Maybe it should be a little bit wider. So I don't know if I feel like it's totally off. Totally like accurate. But it's not totally off either. So your mileage is going to vary. In my mind's eye, I always remember this being bigger. But, you know, again, like watching it back just before doing this, because I like to do that when I'm talking about these things, it's not really that off. And it could be that the movie itself has some offness about it where, you know, one scene she's sized bigger, and another scene she's not. Oh, and I forgot that this head comes off so easy. Anywho, they do look good together. Here it is with the NECA, and I feel like the NECA now might be definitely a little bit too big. You know, the Hiya has that like kind of like hunched over thing that makes it feel a little bit better. And same with the Monstarts. The Monstarts just feels maybe a little bit too big for that one. And here it is with the Kaiju Bengachi, the, you know, Bandai Premium Muto, which I absolutely love. I definitely love this one more than this one, despite it not being articulated. This is just so much nicer. And here's the male Muto from that set, which is also awesome. Will Hiya give us the male Muto? I think so. I hope so. That would be good, right? You know, it's a no-brainer to do. So, you know, let's get it going, Hiya. And my final thoughts, well, I don't love it, but I like it. You know, like, I think it looks really nice. I think it goes well with their Godzilla 2014, which is a good thing. But there's things about it I don't like, and mostly that is, like, the joints feel kind of gummy, kind of, like, scary to handle, and I don't like that plastic quality. So, you know, and I've mentioned it so many times, you know. But I think it looks really, really nice, and that's a good thing. I'm just scared it's going to break at some point. But it does look really good. Had I picked up the one from last year, maybe the joints would have been really good, and maybe it would have ranked pretty high. I do know, like, a lot of folks did really like it, but, you know, like, and ranked it pretty high, but I can't see it. You know, based on this one, I can't see it, like, for myself. That it definitely wasn't a top 10 contender, even if the joints were, like, fantastic. Like, I don't, you know, I think it's really, really good, but I don't think it would have ranked in my personal top 10 based on what was in my top 10. But I'm glad I got it finally, and I do dig it. I do dig it. Yeah, I just don't love it, you know. But, you know, it's a cool figure, and I'm glad I have it. And I do hope that they do the male Muto. It would be good to put them together. Alright, guys, and that's my review. Hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you're new to the channel, want to go ahead and sub yourself for daily content. And let me help you diversify your collection. Until next time, peace out, peeps.